Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This video is my PSGL Evaluation Race. So, yeah, this race doesn't have any damage, rain or dynamic weather or anything like that. But it's going to be just so I can show off my pace and hopefully get to as high a split as possible for the PSGL season. I'm still undecided which leagues I want to upload, as I'm pretty sure my team's going to go down the gutter, unfortunately, as I did enjoy that team, but it's just not what people want to see. So, it's most likely going to be Tuesday is going to be AOR, and Friday is going to be Zenith. So yeah, I doubt this season's going to be broadcasted. It's just going to be for me. But at the same time, if something happens with AOR, I've got a backup league to show off. So here we are starting our laps in qualifying, and this first lap, it didn't go well. As you'll see here, we are pushing the absolute limits, short shifting up the gears to get as much traction as possible. But as you see here, we didn't go down to 4th gear, we stayed in 5th, but we got a little bit of a snap, and that was enough to invalidate the lap, which is very, very disappointing. But here we are now for the second run of the session. Hopefully this one goes a bit better and we don't invalidate it halfway through the lap. So here we are starting the lap. We stick it into max fuel mixture in hot lap mode, and through turn 1, this turn is really difficult. You want to brake just before the 100-meter board and just get into second gear and get as much traction as possible. Short shift up the third so you can get an extra bit of traction and reduce the wheel spin. So here we are now coming to the end of this lap. We brake at the 100-meter board, we get down to second gear, but I go down to first to get that bit of extra rotation and go up to third gear pretty quickly and short shift up the gears, and that is a 141.7. That puts me into P3, but after everyone sets their second runs, I am P4. I'm only 1/100th away from Brett, so hopefully on our final run, which will be much better, I can get better. But I'm going to stay quiet for this run, and you can just watch it. It was a pretty good lap, and hopefully it puts me up high up the grid, higher than P4 at least. So yeah, I'll just let you watch this lap and enjoy. So as we go through the final corner now, as you saw, we got the online services glitch, which did distract me going into the final few corners, and that is really disappointing, as that could have been a potential 5/10 improvement on my previous time, which would have been a 141.2, but nevertheless, we went into P2 only just off first place, and that is going to be a 141.4, which is by no means a bad lap, but I know for a fact we could have gone better, as our teammate is qualifying P7, 7/10 off. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It was just a minor distraction and really shouldn't have affected my lap time, but it did, and overall there's not much I can do about it. I just got to go into the race with a positive attitude. So now it's going to be a full dry race, because it's going to be a soft to medium, as that was the mandated strategy for this race, just so everyone's on the same strategy and at similar times. So here we are now on the grid for the Belgium Grand Prix. It is 5 red lights, and away we go for the Belgium Grand Prix. We actually get a pretty decent start. Nobody jumps off the line, and we stick it into overtake and a rich mix. Go through to turn 1 now. We send it right around the outside of Walters, and we couldn't quite get it working, but we get that extra rotation bit in first gear, and we actually do already have a second gap to Brett behind us. So here we are now going through down to Eau Rouge and Radion. We're going to be get in the slipstream of Walters. Hopefully we can get a move done. If we hold it through Radion we could get a good run, at which we do. So we are now right behind him now, going down the Kemmel Straight, and now we just got to keep in the slipstream. We move to the outside and we try to get the move done around us. We turn off overtake and we just can't get the move done, as it's just a very awkward corner to go around the outside of. You need to be well alongside, which we weren't. So overall, not a bad start. We already got 1.5 second gap to Brett behind, so we just got to keep that gap and just maintain it and just overall build upon it. So here we are now on lap 3. We had this issue in qualifying, but once again we're just running a tiny bit wide. Even though I still classify that on the track, the game doesn't, and that's a 3-second time penalty, and that's really unfortunate, as we were. Yeah, that's going to really cost us towards the end of the race. And here we are on lap 5, and one corner later we get another time penalty, which is not the best of circumstances. So well, it's 6 seconds time penalty already on lap 5. But here we are now going on to lap 7. It is time to pit in this race for the medium compound tyres, and hopefully, I think this is actually going to be a lap later than Walters, so hopefully we can get a good run and just overall jump him in the pit lane. So here we are now going through the chicane. We're going to hopefully get a good pit entry. We've got to run it as close to the wall as possible, as this pit entry is really clumsy and you just got to take it really carefully, otherwise you'll hit the wall and get damage. Even though damage is off, we still don't want to be hitting the wall, as that will lose time, as we slow down perfectly for the pit limiter line. And now we're going down the pit lane now for the Haas pit crew. Hopefully they'll give us a good pit stop, which they sort of do. It's a very mediocre 2.6 second pit stop, and we rejoin the race in P9 as Brett and Dynastics behind us pit as well. So we come out behind Morat, who is yet to pit in this race, and onto the podium is in P7. So we've got to catch these guys and get past them as efficiently and as quickly as possible if we want any chance of catching up to Walters in front of us. So here we are now going through the middle sector. Morat actually had a really bad run and actually runs onto the gravel. So here we are now going round the outside onto this right-hander. We squeeze him to the apex a little bit. He does hit us, but we run a tiny bit wide, and once again I really think that is an unfair penalty, as we were battling and just trying to move around the outside, and we got a penalty for it. So that is 9 seconds worth of penalties. And here we are on lap 9. We've caught up to onto the podium, which is going to be for P3, as I said, he's still yet to pit in this race. But we run out of VRS, and that's going to be what's going to hamper us in this final run. Well, final stint. We're going to be out of VRS, so we're not going to have the best run, but we have a very nice run onto the podium going into this right-hander, and we send it down the inside, and we're only 1.2 seconds behind Walters. So even though it's not the big time gain that we wanted, we have still gained 2 to 3 tenths in the pit stop stages, with Mystic, who is going to pit as he does on that lap. So here we are on lap 12. As you see here, we have no pace on the medium compound tyres, as we're losing time to Brett behind us and losing loads of time to Walters behind. As in a few laps, that went from 13 seconds, from 1 second to 4 seconds, and now we're up to 10 seconds. So overall, it's not been a great race, and as you see, not much really happened in this final stint. It was just me running around by myself. But as you see here, on lap 22, I am pushing for a personal best lap, and I do push it a minuscule too much, and that is another penalty, like 12 seconds worth of penalties, which is going to really hurt our result. So now we're going through the final lap. We're going to come through the final chicane, a bus stop chicane, for P2 in this Belgium Grand Prix. Not a bad evaluation race, but I know for a fact we could have gone better, and overall it wasn't a bad result, but as I said, could be better, and we should have been battling for the win, as that does drop us down the P4 of the penalties. So here are the results of this race. I come through for P4 in this Belgium Grand Prix, and overall it wasn't a bad finish, as we do cross the line in P2. So that race could have been a lot better overall. I was just lacking pace on the medium compound tyres, and I think the reason for that was that I just run my tyre pressures too soft. So it meant that the tyres couldn't get into their optimal range, and I was just losing time every single lap, no matter how much I pushed. But anyway, without further ado, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to know whenever I upload a video. And join my videos for every Tuesday and Friday at 8 PM, and Friday join me for Zenith F1 Esports League. And hopefully hopefully we can continue or to improve upon our result last race and keep our momentum going into Bahrain. So thank you for watching and goodbye.